Yeah, so today's workshop is on home valuation ads, which are ads run on your Facebook business page through command. And then the way that this ad is going to work, we're not going to track the leads through command. We're actually going to track the lead through Cloud CMA. Cloud CMA gives you a free web page under lead generation. So it's like you log into your Cloud CMA account, you go in the top right corner, you click your initials or profile, whatever. And under that, there is an option for lead generation. And under that, it has a web page that's already auto-generated for you, where people can first enter their address and get a free home valuation. We're not going to show how to embed this into your KW website today because I had trouble doing it the last time, getting it to center, and I'm not that great at HTML. So if you want that Cloud CMA page on your KW site, you can email Scott Leroy Marketing, email him what your Cloud CMA link is, and then say, hey, and what I mean is that lead generation page link. Email that to Scott Leroy, say, I want this page embedded on my command agent website. And
do you want to share? Let me share, and I can show people what you're talking about.
Yeah.
On my site. So what Danny's talking about is this page. So this is my KW website, and up here, so I have to move your beautiful faces. So I have what's your home worth, and it takes you to the screen.
Yeah.
Which there you go. So this is what Scott Leroy can help you get added to your page, and you literally put in an address here. And then it would, once you do that, it's going to say, hey, we found it. And then they enter in their information and it'll send a report, and it does an automatic CMA. So anyway, so that's what Danny's talking about.
And simultaneously, the agent gets a copy of the same CMA and they get the lead information. And it comes in an email from Cloud CMA to the agent. So that's how lead collection works. So again, we're not going to have them input their information into the Facebook lead generation form. So they're not going to go directly into the command database. And the reason we don't do that is because if you have them input their contact information on the Facebook form, then they get to your web page where they input their address, and then it asks for their contact information once again. The chances of people getting lost in that process or just not completing it are high. You don't want to ask them 2 times to do the same thing, filling out their contact information. Does that make sense to everybody? So the leads are just going to come through via email from Cloud CMA to the agent. Matt, could you do me a favor and show the Cloud CMA how to get to this page that I'm referring to?
Yep.
Awesome.
So once you all, if you're a San Francisco agent and a member of San Francisco AR, once you log in, the same way you would be going to the MLS, you click here on Cloud CMA. It's then going to open up this other window here, which is my Cloud CMA. So you can see some CMAs I've done for some other clients, which is great. So then you simply go up here to your account. You may have a picture there if you've added one. If you haven't added one, it'll just, I think, have your initials or something. And you click on this lead generation page. It is then going to take you to, my internet is very slow today for some reason, so I hope it loads.
Well, I'm grateful you're able to get on Zoom.
Yes. So this is your lead generation page. So as you can see, this looks very similar to what I was just showing you that I have on my Keller Williams page myself. So you can view the landing page and it will open up a separate landing page that's separate. I actually took this and embedded this into my KW page, but you could also just use this link separately. For example, has anyone heard of Linktree before? This is not the purpose of this class, but Linktree I use on my Instagram, for example. and it has all these different links on it. So I put that title in my Instagram account. It takes someone to this page right here. And one of the things is what's your home worth? And when they click on that, it then takes them to this Cloud CMA page. So it's a great way to get people to go and fill out their information. And then you're able to capture their address and their name and email address. So once again, you can copy that link or view it, but it's super easy to get it, and then you can embed it. So you could put it on your Pinterest, you could share it on Facebook, you can do a bunch of, you can put on Twitter, or you can embed it into an email signature. There's all sorts of places that you can put this to help capture leads. And when someone actually goes and fills it out, like Danny was saying, it's so when someone fills all this information out, it's going to go to here and it will show up in their CMA. You'll get an email saying that someone filled out their information, and it'll also show a CMA. Now keep in mind, the CMAs, it's just taking a very basic look at what their bathroom count is and showing other sales that have happened within that area in the past, I think 6 months is what it pulls, right, Danny?
Yeah, I think it is like the same as the quick and dirty one.
Yep.
Right.
So,
isn't that what they call it?
Yep. So like, here's what, back when I was in productivity coaching, Katie, who was in my class, so she did one. So when I click on this view live, I'll show you an example of what she ended up getting via email. So she lives down in Cupertino. It's branded with my information. I've set some of the stuff up. So you have to go in and do some setup in your account. So like I put my logo Homes by Matt in here, and I put my signature and made sure this email kind of states what I want it to say, and then also have our branding. If you don't do that, it'll just have generic, and then it has my branding at the bottom as well. So it's got my headshot, and then it's going to go into this detail about what a CMA is, how it's created, how accurate they are. It's pulling. So as you can see, it pulled 11 listings. So around the home, about what else is in the area. And then it looks like it just pulled homes in general around the area. It doesn't actually compare to, well, she just put in Sunrise Drive. So she put in an address, but didn't necessarily put in a specific house. So as you can see, it just pulled pretty much anything that was for sale or had sold in the area, regardless of how many bedrooms or baths it was. And if you haven't seen a CMA from Cloud CMA, it's kind of nice. It like has all the information from the MLS. It has photos and the description, and then the additional photos. So it's really great for someone to kind of look and see, you can obviously see what the outside of the house looks like, but actually being able to see what the inside looks like, have the bathrooms been remodeled, is the kitchen been remodeled, is really important for someone to compare apples to apples to their home.
I also want to segue into talking about the nature of this ad and kind of what you should expect if you do run this ad. Matt, have you run one of these ads before?
What's your home worth? I have not done a what's your home worth ad.
So I wouldn't, I have run these with agents before, and if you measure your success by the number of leads, and there's, you're getting exposure when you run these ads as well. Your branding's getting in front of people, your Facebook business page is getting in front of people, your ad is getting in front of people. People in our area, the Bay Area, tend to be more tech savvy. They tend to be more sensitive in putting their contact information into random places. And people that are selling their properties here, these are assets worth typically over $1 million. So these leads are way more expensive. These are seller leads. You're asking them to put in their address and their contact information from seeing your ad from Facebook. So these are going to be more expensive leads than any other type of ad you will do. And honestly, most likely will just lead to good exposure for you and your brand as a real estate, agent or team. So I just want to kind of tailor your expectations around this ad, because I have had agents not see, a ton of leads from these, and a little bit of disappointment, but you know, you're still getting the exposure. You know, you have to look at all of the metrics when you do the ad and see your cost per 1,000 impressions and how many clicks you're getting. Clicks matter. Again, this isn't going to track incoming leads because the leads are going to come through from Cloud CMA. So should we move on to the ad portion, or Matt, is there anything you want to mention?
I was going to show in here. So if you go to account settings, so if this is the first time you've ever logged into Cloud CMA, you need to make sure you go in and set up everything to match you. So you want to put your headshot in here, your brokerage information. You can put a company logo if you want, or just the KW logo. And yeah, that's all you need to get set up to get everything customized in Cloud CMA. So it just takes a minute to do, but make sure
And I
that
think
you
your
are
contact info too. Your contact info was also on there as well.
correct.
Yeah.
And it pulls in our brokerage logo because it's not added anywhere in here. So I think it pulls that automatically from the MLS under MLS credentials. So you can see it's pulling that information already. So do you want me to show some samples of ads that I've done? I know that's not quite the topic. Or do you want me to stop sharing?
Let's go over the kind of like, let's go over the metrics really quick. And then I'll go over building the ad.
Perfect. So here are some of the paid ads that I have done in the past. And like Danny was saying, you know, the ads are expensive for leads here because real estate is expensive here. In other parts of the country where people can buy a home for $200,000, there's a lot more people in the general population that are in a home that have the money and the means to buy a home versus in San Francisco, Bay Area in general. You know, it's definitely a much higher, only the certain top percentage of income earners can afford to buy homes here, which is why we have huge rental rates as well. So here are some of the different ads that I've been able to do, and to go over the, you know, just go over the statistics or the stats of what you see. So the durations, how long it ran, the cost or clicks, cost per.
I don't know, remember what the M means, but it's cost per 1,000 impressions, I think.
It is. So if you don't know, click this little, sorry, I will do that again. Click this little icon right here, and it has a nice, very extensive description about how these are used and how these are calculated.
CPM, see
CPM.
what is the M? It doesn't make sense. It's 1,000.
It doesn't even say what CPM is. It just says what
well,
it
yeah,
measures.
their M doesn't make sense, but it's cost per 1,000 impressions.
Isn't 1,000 a K? It should be CPK. Anyways,
Yeah. I don't know.
So this is how the impressions are. So you can see different ads have different impressions, meaning how many people actually saw the ad.
So to summarize just that first one, like where Matt has spent $100 on the ad, you can see his total spend on the right. So it's got almost 3,000 impressions. His cost per 1,000 impressions was in fact $34.67. Impressions is how many people's screens this ad showed up on.
Yep. And then from that, of all those 3,000, almost 3,000 people that saw that, how many people actually clicked on it? So this is like cost per click. So it was 66 cents per click. When they click on it, then pops up a screen saying, hey, do you want to share? It pre-populates in Facebook their information and says, do you want to share this with the other person? So of that 150 people, only 10% of them actually said yes, submit the information. So I got 15 leads at a cost of $6.67 each. That means the other 90% clicked on it and then said, oh, nope, never mind, I don't want to share my information. And as you kind of go down, it's kind of consistent through the different ads that I've done that is around 10%. Mm-hmm. And different ads I've been advertising different things. So for example, this first ad was, I can click on it and show you what it was. So this was, oh, come on, why won't it show me that? There we go. So this was a listing that I advertised, and you can see, you know, they clicked on this learn more button to learn more about the listing.
Yeah, and then I just want to again remind you that that second to last column CPLC, that's cost per lead capture. This ad we're gonna build today, you're gonna just have 0 there, even if you have leads, because the leads are not gonna come through in command. And I remind you guys of this so much because oftentimes after someone sets up the ad, they forget. And then they're like, Danielle, it shows 0. And I ask them, well, did you receive any of the Cloud CMA emails? So now I'm going to share, we're going to actually build this ad. We kind of went a little backwards today, but I feel like all of that information we went over is really important in understanding what we're doing in actually building the ad, right? And then where we're getting that Cloud CMA page from. So here we go. We're gonna go to we're gonna go to designs first because I need an image to put on the ad. So there is a couple home valuation images we can use for this. I'm gonna click create design. I'm going to click social and then continue. Let's see, we have a couple messages in the chat. Oh, Millie, maybe it was Millie. Maislin, maybe. For 1,000 impressions, maybe Millie 1,000. Yeah. Okay, so where we're gonna find these home valuation images is under, I think it's under business. Nope, not there. Lead generation, that's where it is. And then home value. What I'm gonna do is narrow it down to social square because that's what we're using now. Is that right, Matt? Yeah. So this is the optimal size now for these Facebook ads. And then if I want to also run it on Instagram, I can run it on Instagram. So my favorite one of these is this one. And I like the image in the background. So we're just gonna use this one. You can have up to 5 images, but you know, all of them are pretty much gonna say the same thing for this ad. If you wanna throw up a couple other images, great, but this one just goes the best with this ad. And I'm gonna delete this statement and I'm gonna delete this logo because it's actually, when I build the ad, it's gonna put a logo over this automatically. And I'm gonna leave the text here as it is, but you can change it to something if you want, like your home could be worth a lot more than you think. You know, there's a couple other phrases you could use. In fact, some of the other images, I think they say something a little bit different. I'm just gonna leave this for simplicity here. And I'm gonna rename it. And then I'm gonna file save because I don't trust autosave. It does work, but, and then I'm gonna click done in the top right corner. We're not gonna download it. We're gonna pull it into the ad through designs. We can skip downloading. Next, we're gonna build the ad in the campaign section. So I'm gonna click on that, the megaphone icon. We're going to click create campaign in the top right corner. And the first option, social ad paid, is what we're going to choose. The campaign name for this, I'm going to just do home valuation, September 21. And we want to attract listings. You can run on Facebook. You can also run on Instagram if you want to. You don't have to have a business Instagram or one for real estate. I have my Twitter connected, but I'm not going to run the ad on there. I'm going to click create campaign, and it's going to take me to set up the ad. I'm not sure if you guys get these. It might be something that's still in beta, but if you do get these, it will help guide you as to what you need to do on this page. We call these guided, I think we call these guided tours or onboarding. So you're welcome to follow along with these and see what you need to do to complete your ad, in case you forget. We're not going to add a listing. And here is where the main copy comes in. And it's giving us a suggestion. I think it's based on the title. I think it's based on the name and goal. So sure, I'm going to use the suggestion. And I'm going to, instead of contact us, and always put your DRE number if it's not in the title of your page. It's not in the title of my page, so I do need to put it here, but I can't remember what it is. So make sure you have that in there for compliance. Headline, I'm going to put won't fit, 25 character limit. This is where you really have to think hard.
Just take out the instead. Just say free home valuation. And put the money symbol or something.
Also, I do want to put selling your, why does it keep doing this to me? Let me see. That's so weird. I don't know why it keeps not letting me edit. Oh my gosh. There we go. Thinking of selling your home, so it's very clear what the ad is for. I'm not sure if it's the right time. We can help you find out what your home is worth in today's market with an instant free home valuation money symbol. Sure, I'm going to start with this. I'm going to actually change this. I changed my mind. All right. Your home could be worth more than you think. Click learn more to sign up and receive a free instant home valuation. And then next is media. I'm going to go to select media and I am going to add images from the design library. And here it is. Well, maybe it's not available yet since I just made it. Let's see.
There it goes.
Second time's a charm. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and preview and pop. 1-to-1, best for most placements. That's what I did it for, and that's what I want. Save. Okay, and I've already got my DBA logo in here. It's showing up in the bottom right corner, so I don't need to worry about the DBA logo. And then here's my text. Here's how it appears in the preview. And I'm going to click save. Facebook and Instagram settings. I'm going to click configure. Here's where you can select the page you manage that you're running this ad on. So here's my real estate agent page. And then see how that changed? And also Instagram, I had selected to use Instagram. Since it's the square, I'm gonna do in the regular feed, not in the story. You can choose one or the other. Destination. So though this is defaulting to use the Facebook lead generation form recommended, that's what's going to serve them the contact form from Facebook right away. And as we went over earlier, I don't want them to have to fill out their information 2 times, once for Facebook and then for Cloud CMA. Instead, I'm just going to direct them to the Cloud CMA landing page, and they're going to fill that out. And my lead's going to come via email. And I'm going to click, what should I do here, Matt? Contact us?
Learn more, because contact us feels like you're like.
Too direct.
Yep, and then I put the link in the chat for you.
Thank you. So hopefully this link will work. In the past, sometimes it's too long and the system doesn't like it.
Looks like they increased it to 1,000 characters, which is good. So, oh, but this one's 11th, or no, 113. It should work. There you go.
Okay, great. It worked. And then you can use custom settings here. You can choose to also target people in your database, and you can create that audience list, and you can filter people by tags. And here's where you can select all the tags you want to include.
I think if you're using tags, it has to be more than a certain, it can't be like 10 people. It has to be in the hundreds. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think you said, Matt, you've tried like 250 people and that still wasn't enough. So you do need to target probably a couple hundred people, maybe 300 people from your database. So I'm not going to use that tool. And how it works is it uploads a custom list to Facebook. It cross-references their email addresses with email addresses in Facebook profiles. And it tries to find matches that way. If you have their Facebook profile link listed on their contact, it will just use that. So I'm going to uncheck this box, and we're going to just target the rest of the custom audience. So we're doing this around San Francisco. I'm going to increase this to a, let's see, 50-mile radius. You can select interest groups here. Now, I recommend casting a really wide net. Otherwise, you're not going to get, you'll get a higher cost per 1,000 impressions if you add in interest groups. However, if you want to be more targeted, you can always select a larger radius and then put in interest groups that may match people looking to sell their homes. And let me go to my Google Drive here. And so here's a list of interest groups that I put together. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Now, there are some in here geared toward buyers. You don't want to include first-time home buyer. they're not going to be a seller. We want to target people who already own a home. So when you're going through this, you know, keep something like for sale by owner, but maybe delete house hunting and delete, you know, don't put house hunting or first time home buyer. All right, I'm going to drop this in the chat right now for you. Okay, and then how you add the interest groups is simply click this plus. You can start typing in one of them. It'll search for it, you check it off, then you search for the next one. And that one I just checked off remains selected. I don't want to target other agents. All right, so I'm just going to do a couple of these and then see how the 3 I selected all remain selected. I can click save, and now all those 3 are added here. I don't recommend narrowing the audience further. Of course, you can click that, and basically it's only going to include people who match one of the first groups and the second interest group. So it will drastically narrow your audience size. I don't recommend it. All right, click save to move on to the next thing. Lead settings configure. So we're not actually collecting leads through this ad. People are not going to go directly into your command database here. So we don't really need it to auto tag, and we don't need it to auto assign a smart name because they're not going to come in here automatically. So I'm going to go ahead and just save that, skip it. Here, the next step and last step is to set up the duration and budget. So we want to start it tomorrow. It's going to start no earlier than the following day. And then you can set the end date. It's going to calculate the number of days based on these dates. Here's where I can set up my total budget. And then it's going to calculate my daily per channel spend. Now, by default, it has selected distribute evenly across channels because remember, I'm running this on Facebook and Instagram. I recommend using automatic placements. If you want more info on that, you can hover over this little eye. But basically, Facebook, they own Instagram, right? They're going to spend more money where the ad is performing better. They're going to optimize the ad for me. So I like that. You know, they can use their algorithm, optimize my ad, spend my money smarter. Click save. And lastly, click publish campaign. And you will need to add a credit card here. And then click create, and it'll charge you. So it is going to charge you the amount you want to spend up front, I think. And then let's just say you decide, you know, this ad runs for 5 days, you don't get any leads and you want to cancel. It will only let you pause the ad if you stop it in the middle. And then it's going to basically just keep it paused until that ad was supposed to finish. Then it will cancel it out automatically. And you're not going to be refunded the remaining amount. You'll be credited that amount towards your next ad. That's correct, right, Matt? Can you confirm? Because I think that's happened to you before. Yep. So that's how this works. Does anyone have questions about the ad setup?
I missed what you had said earlier. Thank you very much, by the way. You had mentioned something about agents seeing 0 leads in Cloud CMA. Where are you supposed to see this? Or if I don't know if I understood that correctly. Okay,
so the first part.
Yeah, the first part.
Yeah, so there is a lead generation page in Cloud CMA that every agent gets for free.
Okay,
And it will collect the lead information for you on that page. So that's why we don't ask them to put their contact info in through Facebook. That's why we don't use the Facebook lead generation form for this particular ad. And we demoed it in the beginning. I have that all recorded, so I'll post it on my YouTube channel. So Matt showed his page and demoed it, and basically it asked for their address first, and then it asked for their contact information so that it can email them the auto-generated CMA. And it's just a
Okay.
quick and dirty CMA.
okay, and then when you put the website URL in, where does that come from?
That came from Cloud CMA. So
Okay.
you'll need to watch the recording to see, but we went over like exactly where to click in your Cloud CMA account, but it's in the profile area, and you'll click lead generation.
Okay, cool, thank you.
I
I
can
have
share
a
what.
question, Danielle. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ruth.
You see where it says the value of your home, when you have that picture there? Can
Yeah.
that be changed, the stuff in the middle, or no?
Yeah. Yeah. So you can change it when, when I went into designs and I chose that image, you can just click the text in there when you're working in designs and you can change it.
Okay, because I would like to also have it in Spanish.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I have a lot of people that their first language is Spanish.
You
So-
could have two images, like one in English, one in Spanish.
Yes, that's what I want to do, actually.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a great idea.
Totally, Ruth. So I wanted to
Okay.
show when someone actually fills out this is how it will show up in your inbox when you get it. So you get an email from reports at Cloud CMA, and it just says, hey, FYI, someone, and it gives you their name, their email address, their phone number, and the address. And it gives you a copy of the email that went to them. So this part right here is what actually gets emailed to the client with a link to it. And then you get a copy of it saying their information.
And then do you want to show one more time for Kristen when you're in Cloud CMA where to go?
Yep.
Sorry.
So
Yeah.
no worries.
Thank you.
So did you want to see, Kristen, did you want to see?
I'm
So this
familiar
is like-
with this. I'm familiar with Cloud CMA, just not the lead generation page.
Okay.
Yeah, no
Yep.
one ever has used it literally before we show this class, pretty much.
Okay.
So
Good
you
to
go
know.
to your logo in the upper right, and then you hit the lead generation page.
Okay.
And that's where you get the link. So you can either copy this link
Oh.
or view this landing page.
Okay.
And then you can share this in an ad. You can share it on social media directly. You can put it in your email signature. There's all sorts of places you can put it. And then when someone gets it, when someone fills out the information, you'll get a lead.